Several black directors over the years have created excellent art. Black art has been the foundation of pop culture for decades. This time around, I wanted to appreciate the black directors of film. Films have been around since the late 1800s, with the first black director being Oscar Micheaux, coming onto the scene in response to a heavily racist film, Birth of a Nation. The title of this film is Within Our Gates. Black people from this point forward work to tell their stories in a more justified way. I can go on forever about what films are must-watch or cultural landmarks in the community, but I decided to shrink my list down to 4, each of these films representing a genre. The genres in questions are action, drama, comedy, and horror. Starting with the action genre, Cambridge defined action films as a type of movie in which a lot of exciting things happen. My selection is Paid in Full and directed by Charles Stone III. This is Stone's debut film. The story follows Ace, who is played by Woody Harris, a young man in Harlem interacting with the drug scene in the area, ultimately becoming conflicted on whether or not he is entirely devoted to this lifestyle. The ending of this film specifically is what separates it from others in the genre. Not to spoil the ending too much, the main character in many gangster/crime films tend to get an unfavorable ending. Stone's decision to stray from that path comes into the equation for 2 reasons perhaps. Reason 1, black characters have had a long history of being killed early in the films, or they are left with a negative ending. This long-lasting trend definitely gets tired after a certain point. The second reason is the deep contrast between the main characters in this film versus other drug films. For example, Stone includes a few scenes from one of the most well-known drug films, Scarface. The scene show was the gun showdown with Tony Montana played by Al Pacino. While watching this, we get a different scope foundationally between the 2 characters morally. So it brings up the question of whether or not Ace deserves this kind of ending. And personally, I think Ace's ending was justifiable. Next, I wanted to mention the on-screen chemistry between the cast. Mekhi Phifer's character, Mitch, has a strong bond with Ace that is very admirable. A true sense of their friendship is shown just by the way they always have each other's backs, as they continually purchase things for one another and support each other in their endeavors. The third member of the trio, Rico, played by Cameron, was a perfect casting too. I always thought bridging the gap between rappers and actors either go really well or really bad. Cameron's performance in this film showed impressive range, from his comedic acts to his serious ones. Rico's character as a whole was a perfect balance between Ace and Mitch. I find that action films that rely more on the characters and plot versus the constant visual stimulation stand out in the long run from the rest, which is effectively showcased through this film. Lastly, it is interesting just what parts of the film are remembered. Some scenes in the film are so memorable that later down the line they have become memes, which will prolong their relevance in social media. Here are a couple clips from the film that are used today.
Hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be aight, nigga. You tough, right?
A nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?
Overall, Stone did an effective job navigating this genre and giving the audience a memorable story and characters. The next film in this lineup is from the drama genre. As defined by Cambridge, a drama film tells an exciting and serious story. The film that I decided to be the best for this genre was The Black Klansman. Spike Lee, a well-decorated black director, took a jab at another biography. Lee is known for his numerous successes such as Do the Right Thing, He Got Game, Malcolm X, the list goes on. Spike Lee being at the helm of this picture, at the very least raised what expectations were to be had. The plot of The Black Klansman follows Ron Stallworth, a black police officer in Colorado, infiltrating the local Ku Klux Klan. This period drama does an excellent job of revisiting a point in history while highlighting the commentary done during the time, such as the use of blaxploitation films, racial biases, and more. The element of tension is seen throughout the entirety of the film as Star Wars struggles not to get caught by the Klan, like when Felix, Jasper Pat Conan's character, was questioning Flip Zimmerman, played by Adam Driver, about his alliance to the Klan.
You gonna shoot me? Put that gun away.
I hear you Jews do something funny with your dicks. Some weird Jew shit. Is your dick circumstanced?
Oh, is that what this is about? You're trying to see my big Jew dick, you fucking faggot.
Who are you calling a fucking faggot? Jew faggot? Now put that fucking strap on your arm. Put it on your arm. Honey, what's wrong?
Felix!
Honey! Honey, what's wrong?
There's a black law jockey on our green line!
Even though drama is the primary genre of this film, Lee provides an experience for the audience with a well-balanced use of comedy blended in. Despite the obvious racism with a lot of the characters, there still exists a darker form of comedy amongst the characters, whether it's laughing at the absurdity of their remarks or just laughing at them in general. It highlights some of the foolishness of the commentary then, which can also be translated to today's media. John David Washington's performance as Ron Starworth, alongside Flip, is elevated through the banter between the two characters. Black history in America is often overshadowed, so to hear that this event occurred and was never talked about in the curriculum is both expected and disappointing. I'm glad the film got the appreciation with it being nominated for Best Picture Film and winning Adapted Screenplay for the Academy. Overall, The Black Klansman is an excellent balance of drama and comedy while also being a biography. Spike Lee is undoubtedly a contender for the next genre of comedy with his other films, but I think one of the integral comedies made by a black director is Friday, directed by F. Gary Gray. According to Moviepedia, comedy film is defined by the emphasis on humor. This star-studded cast is unmatched. Craig, played by Ice Cube, Smokey, played by Chris Tucker, Dana, played by Regina King, Big Worm, played by Faizon Love, Debbie, played by Nia Long, Debo, played by the late Tom Lister Jr., and Mr. Jones, played by the late John Witherspoon. Plot is about Craig being at home on a Friday after getting fired for stealing cardboard boxes. Craig's rent is due and his friend Smokey owes the local drug dealer. As the two are observing the events that are happening around the neighborhood, they have to find a way to come up with this money. Despite knowing this film thoroughly, I find myself laughing as if I'd never seen it before. This film will leave the audience with numerous one-liners.
Craig.
Bye, Felicia.
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Damn!
Plot is simple enough where the introduction of different elements to the story, such as subplots, doesn't come off as random. Gary Gray decided for the very end of the film, the community of characters to come together. Both the bully trope and the smoker/piehead trope are perfected with the characters of Debo and Smokey. Debo being this unrelenting force that everyone in the neighborhood avoids, and the consistency of his attitude is really what sells him as a bully. Smokey enhances the piehead character with the use of his comedic interaction with everyone. Most characters of this archetype are attached with the idea of being slow or dumb. Smokey at times exhibits these traits but is more defined by his humorous personality. As far as pairing goes, Craig and Smokey have got to be one of the most iconic in cinema. Unfortunately, the Friday series does not feature this pair again. Overall, the purpose of comedies are specifically made to be fun, artistic takes on the world, which is done efficiently here. Last but not least is the horror genre. Britannica defines horror films as motion pictures calculated to cause intense repugnance, fear, or dread. The following film is directed by Jordan Peele, who started his career as a comedian and shifted to directing. It can be argued that Peele has created one of the top 20 greatest horror films ever with his film Get Out. Get Out, starring Daniel Kaluuya as Chris, who visits his white girlfriend's house, Rose, played by Allison Williams, encounters something dark in her family's practices. Peele establishes his artistic genius in the cinematography, set design, shots, storytelling, and commentary in this film. Every time I think about my first viewing of this film, I get goosebumps. The film has many talking points in relation to race. Chris being a part of an interracial relationship with Rose, running into microaggressions from her parents and her brother, are real life issues that Peele highlights when it comes to interracial dating. The imagery of this film has so many layers that I didn't know about. A lot of them have double or even triple meanings concerning oppressive experiences that the black population went through. I believe people should see the imagery versus me explain it, but one scene that had me in genuine awe was when Chris used cotton that was located inside the couch to save his life, which obviously enough could be linked to black ancestry of slavery in America. Such a simple idea, but executed in a way that holds so much weight. Overall, Peele's creative mind has certainly elevated him in the ranks of black directors. Personally, I think he could be in conversation with just directors of all time. These are the films that I found to be the best made by black directors up until this point, 2025. I look forward to what other black creative minds come onto the scene and showcase their talent. Thanks for watching.